is extremely challenging because you really have to develop all of the entrepreneurial skills that any independent business person would have to have as a skill set. And I think that's why what Jim is offering is so immensely helpful and important for us, because you end up, I think you could end up spending 24/7 trying to promote, and of course we're simply trying to keep the balls in the air in terms of gigging, recording, whatever. I mean, as Jim was saying earlier, it's important to put a strong project together, but getting the word out, promoting, is an endless process, and I find it terribly daunting without assistance from a team that knows what they're doing and how to do this.
Yeah. Now, PJ, you are a younger musician. You're a recent graduate. You studied with the late Mulgrew Miller, William Patterson. Mm-hmm. As you were learning this music, did you have any idea that you would have to step into this role of self-promoter and marketer? And did you learn how to do these things in school?
Well, the first part of that question, yes, I knew I would have to be a self-promoter. We did have one class in school on it. I was very fortunate that my father was an entrepreneur. And so when I told him that I wanted to do music when I was, 10 or 12, he didn't freak out, but he started helping me understand that, I'm not going to be working 9 to 5, and he would help me over the years understand what that would mean in different ways. And he is really the third man on my backroom team with Jim and my radio promotion. He would give me the visuals of how to make it work. He would help me crunch the numbers, which is all way beyond me. On my own. And Jim does this too. They just think of stuff that I don't think of. And what I've learned is that I have to account for the fact that there's stuff I won't think of and make sure that I give them time to take care of it. It is something that was mentioned briefly in school, but was there's no way to teach it because I want to say this in the clearest way possible. Basically, everybody, from the most successful jazz musicians, or I should say for the majority of successful jazz musicians in the guitarist world, that would mean even Kurt Rosenwinkel and other great guitarists or musicians, only 3% of jazz records or of records sold are the ones that are selling in jazz. So there's you have to realize that no matter who you are, even if if your name is big in this market, your money isn't coming from record sales. It's and so how does that work? And I honestly think a lot of the institutions don't necessarily know the answer. I know Jim and people have better ideas than most, but my general feeling is that everybody's still trying to figure it out. And I think guys like Dave and Janice obviously have a better idea than I do just from doing it longer, but I don't think anybody's figured out a certain formula of self-promotion. We all seem to be struggling to a certain degree, successfully, but it's not like there's a formula back in the days in the 50s and 60s where you got a big label behind you and they did a lot of work. It's a much different process, and I don't know if anybody has all the answers.
Well, it's an evolving process because of the technology and the changes and the disappearance of major labels. Jim, you're a veteran of the old school, and you're now someone who's very active in the new school. Do you think it's harder for artists today?
I think it's quite challenging today. Although the technology has allowed a lot of artists today to empower themselves, self-empower themselves. You can make really high-quality, fine recordings, for not a lot of money, using Pro Tools. etc. You can be, well, I will say this. There are advantages and disadvantages to self-producing. The big advantage is you control everything. No one's really looking, telling you what music to record, when to record it, what to put on the cover, what musicians to use. That is all on you. The big disadvantage with self-producing is the buck stops with you. All of those things cost money, and promoting it costs money. So that presents a big challenge for many musicians. So again, I go back to if you're going to take on that role, assume that role as a self-producer, it's good to really be aware of all of the pitfalls before you really jump in hook, line, and sinker.